get me locked up during Beyonce's birthday month. That's we're not doing that. What's up, y'all? It's your sister. Child, I know I've been missing. I started filming Wildin' Out. We are filming 2 seasons back to back. Today is it's Sunday before Labor Day. It's my first day off. In the past week that we've started, we had a couple days where you have to do just workshops where everybody just warms up. We get back into the swing of things. We have HR meetings about, what sexual harassment is and what inappropriate conduct is, and, all these different things that have to be done before you start filming. And then we started filming. This is my first, yesterday was our first day off. Yesterday was Saturday, thank God. Honestly, I think I spent my entire day in bed. I didn't do nothing. I was just I'm not doing anything. So then today I'm actually going to an award show with my cousin Da Vinci. And I said, you know what, while I get ready, even though I'm running mad late, I said, let me do this Swindler video. Because I know first of all, I want to thank all y'all for the response on the LA Swindler videos. Honestly, y'all, I could keep it going. I really could do a 10-part series on this shit, but to be honest, I feel like I came into contact with a lot of this information for a bigger purpose, and so I'm just gonna focus on that. However, I am about to tell y'all about this Manhattan swindler. But before I do, I kind of need to dip back into the LA swindler just a little bit. There's this guy that I was about to date last year, and we'll call him Mr. Manhattan, right? So how do we get to Mr. Manhattan? So I was on the phone with my mom, and my mom called me the other day, and, I really haven't talked to her much about the LA swindler, but, she's seen the video, and I told y'all, my mom was like, stop making videos about this. But she called me the other day, and she was like, you know what, Jess, what really gets me about the LA swindler is that I told him he just had to be honest with you. And if he was honest with you, that you would be willing to work with him. And I was like, yo, I totally forgot that the LA swindler and my mom had an entire conversation. The last time that I was there, he and my mom got on the phone and spoke with each other. Now, how did that come about? So that came about because he kept expressing how he wanted to meet my mom because he felt like if he met my mom, he would have a better understanding of me as a person. He felt that I was quote unquote mean and that I was hard to get through, right? And at the time, when he said those things to me, I was like, damn, I don't want him to think I'm mean. Do I have the ability of being mean? Yes, but I didn't think I was being mean to him. Now, was I being standoffish, or was I being careful when I was, starting to see him, especially when we first reconnected? Yes, because I feel like when you're dating somebody, even if it's somebody that you used to date, you just have to be careful. You're getting to know the person again. So, there's something we like to say in the Haitian culture, you have to just be mindful of, it's like saying be mindful of your body, protect your body, protect yourself. You don't know this person, so you have to be careful. And so he kept saying he wanted to meet my mom. And I was like, okay. I mean, at the time, I thought that was pretty cute, right? Okay, he wants to meet my mom. Okay. So while I was there, my mom so happened to call me one day, and I was like, oh, I had told her about him, and I was like, I'm with him right now, and I was speaking with her, and he was like, let me talk to her. And so they get on the phone, and my mom told him, one thing about Jessica, because he was like, I just feel like, she's really tough. She has all these she has these walls that she puts up. And my mom was like, the thing with Jessica is Jessica has been through a lot. And so my daughter, she will put up a lot of fences and she'll put up a lot of barriers because that's her way of protecting herself, And she was like, if you want to get to know her, if you want to, see another side of her, you just have to be honest. She has to feel like she can trust you. And then she started spilling tea about me, and I was like, girl, what's going on? I actually like this man. Why are you telling this man things she's like, my daughter's very controlling. I was like, what the hell? I had never heard my mom say that. I was like, girl, what's going on? I'm trying to secure, what I'm saying? This is somebody I like, girl. What's going on? She's like, my daughter's very controlling. If you think you're about to play games with her, if you think you're about to play her, you got another thing coming. If you think you're about to control her, you got another thing coming. Just be yourself. Be honest. When she was talking to him, I was pissed off at my mom because I felt damn, I'm like, damn, girl, you gonna kind of scare this man away from me. But it's after speaking to my mom, things just got even better. I think that he felt that things just got even better. It just felt, I think when I look back at it, he felt okay, I've spoken to her mom. I kind of know how to, deal with her now. So let me try a different tactics or whatever. And so anyway, but at the time, like I said, I was pissed off with my mom. And when I talked to her this time about it, I was like, yo, mom, I was so mad at you. But bro, you actually not only did you warn this man about me, but you were protecting me in your own way. You protected me. And she was like, but she was like, yeah, of course. She's like, you're my daughter. I know my daughter. I told this man to be honest with you. And that's the one thing he never did. He was never honest. I was like, yeah, I said, mom, literally, when I look back at everything, nothing that we did together was honest. Nothing that he did for me, nothing that we did together was honest. I told her, even I think about one time he got me his personal driver. I had to go to the airport and he hired his personal driver to take me to the airport. And now when I look back at it, I'm like, dang. He was like, oh, this is my personal driver. I use him all the time. He's going to go ahead and take you to the airport. I'm thinking, oh, this is cute. This is nice. He's got me a personal driver and everything. But whole time, after I dropped my Swindler video, I received this screenshot. And this girl was just telling me how, this guy had called her frantically, crying and screaming about how he got to his podcast studio and they're about to close the podcast. They're about to close my podcast studio. They're gonna take all my equipment and asking her for this $2,900. And she gave it to him. And first off, because I know I made light of this in the last video, but I don't believe that this is a case of women just giving a man money. This is somebody who's cosplaying as a preacher, somebody who's spreading God's word, okay? And a lot of these women that I came into contact with are women who knew him from when he was in the pulpit. So it's like tithing, you still believe in this person. You still believe that this person is a man of God. So if you believe that they're using this podcast to spread the word of God and they call you frantically crying and screaming about it, if you have it, you're going to give it to that person. You feel like you're supporting the man of God. And I was like, girl, there is no date on this screenshot. So, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, girl, there's no date on this. So there's no telling how many people this man has sent this to. And then this was around the time he got my little driver or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, so you was paying for my, you paid for my My airport ride. Like, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. But anyway, how does this get into the swindler, how does this get into the Manhattan swindler? Well, one of the first things that he offered me was a personal driver. And so as I was talking to my mom, I started telling her the story, and I was like, oh shoot, this is a perfect story to tell on YouTube to continue this swindler story. Because to continue these swindler series, or maybe this will be a swindler series, I don't know. But I do have several similar stories where it just felt like, okay, something's not right here. All right, y'all, my bad. I had to kind of rush through a lot of this and I couldn't do it on camera, and I still have to blend out, and I gotta do my hair and everything, and child, I'm late. We're supposed to be going to this African award ceremony though. You know, African people don't be starting on time. The award ceremony be like at 7 p.m. and they don't get there till 7 a.m. We'll be fine. Anyway, not me having to be on time during Beyonce's birthday month. Mind you, she dropped them. How long ago did she drop Renee? And she still hasn't given us the visual. She ain't on time, and neither will I be during Beyonce birthday month. I ain't gotta be on time, period. So anyway, so back to Manhattan swindler, okay? So Mr. Manhattan, a friend of a friend of a friend, I guess, like, had me on their page or whatever. Maybe they had a post or something and I left a comment, and I guess he sees my picture on a friend of a friend of a friend's page, right? And so he reaches out to a friend of mine that does have, like, that I am really cool with. He's like, yo, do you know this girl? And my homeboy is like, yeah, I know her. And he's like, oh, I'd love to meet her. I'd like to get to know her. I'd love to take her on a date, blah, blah, blah. And so my homeboy, you know, connects the dots, and he's like, yo, this dude that I know, you know, I'm not really close with him like that, but he seems like a pretty good dude. He seems like he has a lot of things going for himself. You know, he said he wants to get to know you, so I'm gonna just connect y'all. I'm like, all right, cool. First, let me see what he looked like. So he sends me dude's Instagram, and my God, this man is fine. This man is fine. Now, usually, I don't really do ambiguous. I don't really do ambiguous. You know what I'm saying? You know what's weird about me, and y'all, some of y'all might drag me for this, but I don't do ambiguous. Like, I will go from black man to white man, or black man to Hispanic man, black man to Asian man. For some reason, I don't like the ambiguous. I don't know. I'm not really attracted to mixed black men, especially when they have white moms, because when they have white moms, they tend to not have any understanding for black women. They tend to not like black women. It's just, you know, that's a whole other video in itself, but I'm not saying they're all like that, but that's been my experience. So, which is why I kind of like to stay away from ambiguous niggas. But you know, he was ambiguous. He was fine. He was fine now. It was giving Tarzan. It was giving, I wanna know, will you show me? It was giving, it was giving, can you feel, well, that's the Lion King, but bitch, it was giving. It was giving. So I was like, oh, okay, he fine. Go ahead and connect the dots, child. So we start communicating, and at the time when we started communicating, I was in the Bahamas at the time. It was Thanksgiving it was around Thanksgiving last year. I was in the Bahamas with a friend of mine, you know, frolicking on the island, and he was asking me, you know, like, when's the next time that you're gonna be in New York? And, you know, I go to New York pretty often. I always have something to do in New York. I always have a project or something. And also, I have a lot of family that live in New York. So I was like, oh, I'll be there soon. And just doing this voiceover because I realized I didn't say all this on camera. But our first conversation was pretty dope. But it was a little much because, again, like, you know, he was asking me when I was coming to New York. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming to New York soon.
And then he was offering me his personal driver. He's like, I have a chauffeur that drives me everywhere, so I'll have him come and get you. He was like, where do you usually stay when you're in Manhattan? Or do you stay in Brooklyn, or do you stay in the city? And I was like, I usually, sometimes I'll do Brooklyn, sometimes I'll do the city, depending on what the project is. And he was like, well, you can come stay with me. I have like 4 bedrooms, and he showed me like the bedroom where I would be staying and all that. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm cool on that. He's like, why? You scared you come over and never want to leave? Like, the conversation was given, is this nigga trying to kidnap me? What's going on? I don't know. Yeah, so the whole personal driver aspect, again, is why I thought about the story, especially when I was talking to my mom about the LA Swindler and him giving me a driver.
And he was telling me how he had, so then that's it, I think. Then we have another conversation, and he was telling me how he had an event that he had to be to for work on a certain date. And I was like, oh, well, looks like we won't get to meet each other because that's around the time I'm going to go to New York. So then he was like, oh, well, you know what? Then I'm not going to go. Now, here's when the first went off for me. Because the event he had to be at had to do with work. Okay? So without saying too much about him, because I don't really think he's out here necessarily swindling women. Let me just keep going with the story. So, I don't want to say what his profession is, because I feel like this will make it too obvious, but he's an athlete, okay?
Also, to be honest, I underestimated how many of you would put 2 and 2 together for my last Swindler videos. And so going forward, I just want to be more discreet. But also, I am realizing that a lot of you guys out there are, in fact, stupid. And I'm not even trying to joke. I'm not even trying to be mean when I say this, but there have been women who have seen my videos and seen other women come forward and tell their stories and have gone forth and made contact. And now you're going to be swindled too. And, I don't want to help y'all be stupid. If you're going to be stupid, I want you to be stupid on your own, not with my own help. So I will not be amplifying these niggas. I will just be telling my story for entertainment purposes, period. Okay, back to the video.
So he's an athlete, but he's an athlete that is playing an independent sport. So he's not on a team, okay? And so when he told me, oh, well, you know what, I'm not gonna go, that was the first time I was like, yeah, something's not right, because why would you give up going to this sporting event? This is what you do. Like, why would you give that up to meet me? I ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little weird to me. So when he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go, I could go to another one or whatever, I was like, okay, hold on, let me go and do my Googles now. Now I gotta go do my Googles. So I go do my Googles, and I'm like, okay, you're playing this sport. On your Instagram, it looks like you're very successful at this sport. But baby, Google not saying the same thing. Google is not showing many accolades. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not saying the sport, but just think about independent sports. In independent sports, you have to have certain accolades to make a certain amount of money. It wasn't adding up for me. And here's why it wasn't really adding up for me too. I kind of went ahead of myself. This person was a FaceTimer. So do y'all know what I mean by that? Like, somebody who they always got to be on FaceTime with you. Like, he ain't the type of person that's just gonna call you. He gotta see your face. He needs you to see his. Like, he gotta see where you at. You know what I mean? And I remember, our first FaceTime call, he was at his home. And it was a condo in Manhattan. Like, and I'm talking about not just any condo. I'm seeing elevators in the back. I'm seeing multiple rooms. And listen, if somebody has a condo in Manhattan, it's kind of safe to assume that, okay, there's some coins here. Like, because Manhattan is not one of them places that you can kind of connive your way into. Well, child, let me not say that shit. Because at this point, you could connive your way into anything, child. I mean, shit, the LA Swindlers is $37,000 pass on rent. $37,000 behind on rent. Shit, now we done add August. Now that's $44,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways to connive. You never know, right? So with him, I don't think I asked him about his pay. I asked my homeboy because I'm like, okay, you bought this nigga to me, so explain to me, you know, where this nigga gets his money from. And my homeboy really didn't have no good explanation. All he had for me was, oh, he plays this sport and he seems to be doing well in it. I don't really know him like that. So it wasn't like this was somebody that he had hung out with like that a lot, so he didn't have a lot of info for me. So then I go back to Mr. Manhattan and I'm like, okay, so tell me more about, you know, your experience in this sport. Because I'm trying to understand, you know, I didn't say this to him, but I'm trying to understand where, you know, because the nigga's living like ghosts, okay? Am I trying to be Tasha? No, because the bitch ain't trying to get clank clank. I got a future ahead of me, okay? I believe the children of the future. Bitch, I am definitely the children that Whitney was singing about. I got a future, so I ain't trying to get clank clank. And so I'm like, you know, tell me more. And then he starts telling me about his businesses. So he has these businesses. And of course, as he's speaking about these businesses, I'm doing my Googles. It's not really nothing legit coming up. But then he started talking about his nonprofit. And he was really leaning into his nonprofit work. And it's like, you know, Jessie love the kids, okay? I'm all for a nigga who could pass around a couple turkeys during Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for a nigga who gonna pass around, pass the peas like we used to do around Thanksgiving. I'm all for that. The hood need turkeys. You know what the hood need? Turkeys. The hood need turkeys. You know what I'm saying? During Thanksgiving month. But yeah, that's still not explaining to me why you is living like your name is Ghost or Tommy. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm doing my Googles. I'm not coming up with nothing. So anyways, he's still like dedicated to not going to this work gig. And I'm like, yeah, nah, go to your work gig. I'm not going to be available. And I kind of put it in my mind that I didn't want to meet this person anymore, right? And I think he could kind of feel that. So he was trying to like, well, let's set up a date. Let's set up this. Let's set up that. I hit up my homeboy and I'm like, listen, I'm not really too fond on meeting this dude. I don't know. Things are not connecting for me. So I said to him, listen, the only way I'll meet this guy is when I do come to New York, you know, because I usually hang out with this guy, this friend of mine when I go to New York. So I was like, when I do go to New York, I'll meet him if he's willing to come to dinner with us. That's it. So my homeboy was cool with that. And so I go back to Buddy and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm going to be going out to dinner with so-and-so. So, you know, if you want, you can meet us for dinner. And he's like, I'm not about to be doing that. That's really childish. Like, why do I have to go out with you and your friend? I'm like, listen, if you don't want to go out with us, you don't have to. Just know I won't be meeting you. If you want to meet me, you got to come out with me and my friend, period. He wasn't on that. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Well, we ain't got to meet each other. So he goes to my homeboy. He's trying to convince my homeboy to convince me. And my homeboy's like, yo, when Jess says no, it's no. And like, please don't, like, if she said no, it's no. Please don't call me about this shit. So he folds and he's like, all right, I'm going to come to dinner with y'all. Cool. And remember I said I had been doing my Google, so I was like, something ain't right. You know what I mean? Like for somebody to be playing a sport, but I don't see... For somebody to be playing a certain sport, but I don't see much about them being said in that sport. But then when I'm calling you, you're living a life of extreme luxury. Something's not adding up. I was intrigued, but I was also like, you not about to get me locked up during Beyonce's birthday month. That's We're not doing that. Ain't nobody about to be clanking me. Something is wrong. Like, something is terribly wrong. Now, just a quick observation, right? Because I remember in my first Swindler video, I got this comment a lot, which was, when you're dating someone, like, they're not required to tell you where they're at financially. Like, some questions can be very evasive when you're dating someone. And I agree with that to a certain extent. Like with the Manhattan Swindler, because he wasn't somebody that I had met, this was somebody I was about to meet. I do feel like my tactics had to be different in a sense, like, okay, let me use my Googles. Let me, one thing I always do whenever I'm dating someone too is I always put their names like in a hashtag. And I look to see like if any women have come forward and said anything about this person, has there ever been any like something controversial? And for me, controversial is like not necessarily like somebody's opinions, but it's like, has there ever been any violence with this person? Has there been any laws broken with this person? Now the internet tells you everything. It's really easy to find everything you need to find out about a person. So, I do believe like in this instance, like, I wasn't about to like, oh, so how much money do you make? I wasn't going to say that, but I was making my rounds online because I just felt like things weren't adding up. But also in addition to that, when I was looking at some of y'all comments, I'm like, yo, so when y'all are seeing somebody after a couple dates, y'all don't ask them like where they are career-wise and financially, especially as women, especially as Black women during Beyonce's birthday month. Like, y'all don't be asking men about, hey, where are you financially? What's going on? Like, if they have kids, like how many kids, like do you have, what does that look like? Like, y'all don't ask those type of questions. I don't know. I feel like those questions are very important, especially because let's say you like a guy and then you find out that this person is not well financially at all, right? This person might become your responsibility. Like we're living in very interesting times where men are starting to be our financial burdens, and I think that a lot of us are just not, like, we're not asking questions. And then you end up, having a broke baby daddy or a baby daddy who doesn't want to work. Like we're seeing it all the times now. Like men don't want to work. And, so why are you guys not asking questions about where they are financially? I don't know. I saw a lot of people downing me in the comments about that. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about that. I think it's very important, vice versa, to ask a woman, what is she doing? Like, even as a man too, like you're dating a woman, what is she doing? You don't want to be meeting a grown-ass woman, who doesn't have any sense of direction, any sense of what she wants to do in this world. Then all of a sudden, boom, pow, like you are doing everything. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. But for me, I know for me, when it comes to a man, I need to know where you are financially, because I'm not about to be taking care of you. That was your mom and your dad's job. As a grown man, I'm gonna need you to have a job. I'm gonna need you to be able to take care of yourself. You don't have to be rich, but you need to be good. You need to be able to pay your own bills and take care of yourself, because I'm not about to be doing that for you. So anyway, what was I saying? So anyway, I'm doing my Googles, and again, it's just not looking like this man should be making the amount of money that I see him kind of going around with. And then I was able to get into contact with a couple people that knew him. There was this one girl who I follow online. She's like a Hotepi kind of girl. He actually saw that we followed each other, so he DM'd her and told her to put in a good word for him. I thought that was pretty weird. I thought it was weird on his part, but also weird on her part because I don't know her like that. Like, I know for me, I'm not gonna reach out to no girl that I don't have a personal relationship with and be on some, yo, my homeboy said y'all talking to each other, and you know, I just want to tell you he's this, he's that, he's a good person. Like, I'm not about to be doing that. Unless like you and I had that type of rapport, I'm not about to be doing that. I just thought that that was really, really weird. Drop that in the comments. Let me know if I'm overthinking that. So anyway, so finally he buckles down and he says, you know what? I will meet with you and your friend when you come to New York. I will go to dinner with both of you. I'm like, great. So about 2 days before I was gonna be flying out to New York, remember, I like to put people's name in a hashtag just to see, like, on Twitter, on Instagram, and again, I'm looking for, like, you know, is this person a criminal? Is this person, you know, stuff that, like, not necessarily their outlook on shit, or, you know, they've said shit that was stupid, but like, just, I want to know who, or sometimes too, when you put somebody hashtag, and especially if they have a following, which this person has, you know, sometimes people will put up pictures and boom, you find they're telling you that they're single, but baby, ain't this you? Ain't this you in this maternity photo shoot? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were in a maternity photo shoot last week. What the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So, y'all, I kid you not. 2 days before I was set to go meet this man, this girl goes on Instagram and she makes this slideshow. And I guess she used his hashtag, so it came up on my either my explore page or my main page. She makes a slideshow, and in the caption, she basically details how she has been in a relationship with this man for some time now. It's been very abusive. She's trying to leave him, but he's not letting her. It just was, the messaging was kind of weird, but also I got the gist of it. Basically, she was in an abusive relationship with this man. Now, here's the thing, right? I'm the type of person, all I need is one person to say that you're abusive, and I'm good. Like, I don't gotta do the research. There's just certain things like lying, everybody lies, right? But if you are abusive, if you are a murderer, if you are, you know, if you have been accused of sexual crimes, like shit like that, I don't need multiple people to say it. And to be honest, I don't need a whole bunch of evidence, because I don't even want to be tied to anybody who would could possibly have done something like this, right? So I wasn't gonna look through everything, but then the girl, like I said, she made a slide. And so in the slide, I flip it, I slide to the next slide, and it's audio of this man and this woman in a bathroom with him refusing to let her get out of the bathroom. She's like, I want to get out of the bathroom. He's like, no, you're not getting out. You're not getting out. Okay, y'all, forgive me if this video is kind of chopped up. Again, like, I'm getting ready to go to this thing, and I'm actually super late. But anyway, how do I look? I look cute? My cousin hit me up last night about this, and I didn't have, like, nothing to really wear. So I found this dress in my closet, and whatever. Anywho, she's in the bathroom with this nigga. This nigga's not letting her out of the bathroom. I send the video to my friend. We're both like, yeah, it's a chop. Block him on everything. Then he keeps like contacting my friend. Like, yo, what's up with Jess? Jess ain't answering her phone. She done blocked me on Instagram. What's going on? And he's like, yo, it's a chop. Like, she's not interested. He finds a way to call me from another phone. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, this nigga's definitely abusive. Cause like, I don't have anything with you. So why are you desperately trying to get in contact with me? I don't know you like that. So it just was giving, it was definitely giving Ike. Definitely giving Ike. So anyway, Swindler, right? The definition of a swindler is someone who uses deception to obtain money or possessions, right? So although I couldn't prove that he was a swindler, I think the girl who outed him, she was someone who had a big platform. So I feel like there's more to that story, and I do feel that this was someone who he was probably sucking dry while abusing. You know, abusers do that often. But then also he had a nonprofit, and it was like his nonprofit footage, when I would watch it, it would bring in a lot of people. And I'm thinking, so you're bringing a lot of people, you're bringing in a lot of funds under this cosplay that you're a successful athlete. So I feel like, to me, that's swindling. Let me know how you guys feel about that. But I just feel that anytime anybody is deceitfully collecting funds, that's swindling. Like, you know, going back to the LA Swindler, like, you're literally telling this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl that you're not able to do this, you're not able to do that. You know, you're telling this dude, that dude, this dude that you're coming out with this business, invest in this business. You know what I mean? It's all giving swindling to me. So I don't know. Let me know if I'm right about that. Let me know if you guys like this swindler story. I actually have a Miami one that I think is really hilarious. Let me know if you guys want to hear that one. I'm off to the party. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.